Alright, so back for a quick update. We're going to go down low today. We're going to go under. We're going to see if we can't see. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at how dirty that CV axle is. Yeah, this definitely needs to be changed. So this is the driver's side. We're looking underneath. Yeah, you can see where it's broken right there. So yeah, that's definitely going to have to be replaced. Now we're on the driver's side right now, as I said. So yeah, this looks pretty disgusting under here. So yeah, that's going to have to definitely get swapped out. Look at all that. You can see the flange right there. That's what I have to decide what size that is, so that I know which one to order. And I can't quite tell if it's a new 90 or a 100. So we're going to see if we can find the code here on the transmission, which is right here. The transmission is anyway. Oh. Trying to scuttle along here, and let's see if I turn the light off. If that, nope, that's way too dark. Alrighty. So there's the transmission code. Let's see if we can clean that off a little bit. I'll back up a little bit and see if we can get a better focus. And I got some. Looks like maybe a slight oil leak down here as well. Do we look around the oil pan? Looks like there might be a leak somewhere that we got to figure out. But it looks like the code is, maybe get it to an angle here. Can't get it to focus. Let me see if I can try again. Sorry about that. There we go. 9A0601. So, see if I can figure out what that transmission code means. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back up under here again. Taking another look at this. I went inside and did some research. And from what I can find out, it looks like the 90 millimeter on the back side have a kind of a, I guess, a lip, for lack of a better term, but it's hard to see because of the way this fits. And you can see there's some writing there, but I can't quite make out what it says. At least not at this angle. So, like I said, that's going to have to be replaced. And then, if we come down here some, see if I can see anything up on this. This is, you can see how, I mean, just absolutely filthy all this has gotten. You can see there's, it looks like a drop of oil about to come off right there. So the underside of this is really dirty and definitely needs some attention. So I'm going to have to get this cleaned up when I change out the CV axle right here. You can see there's 6 bolts, and they are an 8 millimeter. And so we'll have to get this the correct piece for that, the bit. So we'll pull the wheel off. And off the front of this, and then we'll have to come back here and take off each one of these 6 bolts, and then that'll come out. And I hate to do it before I order it. I'm afraid I might end up having to, because I just don't know. I just don't know what size that's going to be. maybe on the other side, so let's pop over there real quick. Okay, so here we are. We're on the passenger side. A little bit harder to get in here just because of the oil pan's really in the way. But as you can see, I think this is oil because it seems there's an oil leak. That's another thing I'm going to have to figure out where that's coming from. Let's see some cobwebs under here. We head back over here to the tire side. Really not bad on this side, so but I am going to go ahead and replace this. Doesn't make sense to do one and then, you know, just wait on the other one, have to redo the other one later. So we are going to wait on, we're going to do this one at the same time. Let's see if we can get up under here even a little bit closer. Like I said, I think that's just going to be, just be oil from the oil pan. There's got to be an oil leak somewhere. I've got to figure that out. Maybe when I get the car up and get these off, I can look at the oil pan, see if it's dripping from there, or if it's up top. So that's something else we're gonna have to figure out. Okay, so we're right back over here on the transmission code, and I did a little more research, and that's gonna be 9A06016. And from what I can find out, 9A for that transmission code is going to be a 100mm CV axle. So if we come back over here, if I can get over there. One of the things I had mentioned earlier was that towards the back here on the 90s, it kind of steps down a little there towards the back end of it, where it mates up, so it doesn't look like it does based on that. So I'm going to see if I can clean it a little bit and then look at it. Alright, so as I've cleaned this up a little bit, as you can see, this stuff's on here it's kind of dried. It's not real moist like it looks, so it was a little more difficult to clean off than I thought it was going to be. But I don't see that step down that I was talking about, kind of the bevel, for lack of a better term, there at the back. So I think this is going to be 100mm. That's kind of what it looks like here. I'm going to see if I can't find something I might be able to measure this with. But for right now, I'm thinking it's going to be 100mm. So that's what we're going to go with. Okay, so we're back up top, and a minute ago, I'm going to move this red wire out of the way this time. I was showing, here, let me turn this light on. I was showing the CV axle right there from underneath. And at this point, I'm pretty sure it's going to be 100mm. I'm going to double check a couple things, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be, so I'm going to order that one. The passenger side, which is almost impossible to see from up here, just because there's so much stuff in the way. It's not nearly as bad. The guy I got it from, he thought it was the passenger side. But what happens is when your CV axles start to go out, the boots break, stuff like that. When you turn to the right, then you'll hear when you turn to the left, you'll hear the right side. When you turn to the right, you'll hear the left side. So it can be a little bit confusing because you think that it's one side because you hear it more when you turn that way, but it's the opposite side. So that was probably a little confusing, but it's going to be the driver's side that needs to be replaced. Something fierce. So I wanted to go ahead and double check that, and yeah, it's pretty bad. Another thing, again, was the oil leak of some kind somewhere. As you can see there, it doesn't look terribly fresh, but it doesn't look really old either. And just see if we can see over here any. I'm just looking for any other oil that I may have missed on a previous scan of the engine bay. So at this point, that seems to be the majority of the oil is going to be down here, and then under, kind of down in there, and then underneath. So I don't know if maybe the oil pan isn't on well, or what's going on there, because it does seem to be kind of all over the oil pan, the bottom part of it. So that's what's going on with the CV axles. That's kind of what I want to do an update on, is where we are at with those. So I'm going to go ahead and probably order that one and the passenger side. I just want to go ahead and do them both at the same time. But in regards to the brakes, I did pick up this weekend. I actually picked it up today before I ran into work. So that's the Mighty Vac auto test and bleed kit. It's to help you do it yourself. So I've got that now. So I'm gonna, this weekend, I'm gonna try to jump on those. This past weekend, I wasn't able to do any work because I was at work, and so this is my long week, and so I'm not gonna be able to really get a lot done on this. So I want to go ahead and just do a quick little update as on the CV axles. The last update was kind of on the brakes, so that's where we are with the CV axles. You can see that one, the driver side definitely needs to be changed. We're gonna do that, and then we're also going to do the brakes. So the brakes are going to come first, and then I'm going to go ahead and order the CV axles, make sure I can get those in, and then we're going to jump on that as well. Then we'll move to the interior and probably pull the seats. I want to make sure, the reason I'm not doing that now is I want to make sure that I get the brakes fixed and I get the CV axles fixed. I want to make sure all that's out of the way before I move on to the interior. So because if I take the seats out, I can't drive it to test everything. So that's why I'm waiting on that stuff. So that's going to get done. This stuff here will get done, and then we'll move into the interior. Like I said, I just haven't been here this weekend, so as you see, the seats are still in the back here. Like I said, I've been gone for 3 days because it's been my weekend to work. So we'll get those all moved into the storage unit and pull that floorboard, and then pull the carpet and get a bin for all that stuff. So I'll probably try to get that done this week, pick this stuff up this week, so this weekend when I'm home again, I can get started on all that. So there it is, just a quick little recap of where we are. Other video was about the brakes, and I picked up the Mighty Vac for that, and then this one is about the CV axles, looking at those, showing just how bad that was underneath. So there we are right now. I'm going to go ahead and get those ordered as soon as possible, get them here, and then we can get them installed. So I'll see you on that one.